We'd like to welcome each and every individual to Voices of Integrity podcast with young men. You always want to come early, always want to stay late. Anyone want to summarize the pre-show?
Life is better if it doesn't suck. Funner, more fun.
Okay, so Mary said life is more fun if it
And
doesn't suck.
and it seems Mark wants attention because his life sucks, or
Hmm,
he is
that's interesting.
feeling down in the dumps.
Okay, fascinating. Um, Mary, what you got?
Um, Trying to decide if I want to say it.
Well,
Maybe it'll bring something interesting to your life. Maybe not.
right,
Maybe someone else's life will suck then.
right. That's what I want. like, like, jeepers. Like, up to you. Totally up to you.
I'm just gonna go for it. It's kind of me.
Yep.
So, I guess I should get my facts straight. But I heard there's at least one young man on here that has a list of his ideal wife,
Yep.
and I find that interesting. And
Why?
I've personally never sat down before I got married to make a list of my ideal husband. I never thought of that.
So this goes back. This goes back to when I was 18 years old in college. So I went to Faith Baptist Bible College for 1 year. It's a Christian college out in Ankeny, Iowa, and because my parents said, "Hey, that's what you do. We want all of you kids to go to 1 year of Bible college." I'm like, okay. And I wasn't really interested in doing that, but to honor my parents, that's what you do. I mean, we had to pay for it too. They weren't paying for it. And so I'll do the short version. So there was this young lady that was like a sister to me. Um, and, uh, and she was really close. Like we were really close friends, like brothers and sisters. She was very, very interested in dating me and marrying me. I knew that. Um, her one of her best friends was my brother's fiance. We had a bunch of co-friends, and so she was very interested in dating me. And I'm like, "Yep, no, not we're not going to do that." And so I didn't, and for a number of different reasons. And we were in a class, and she had just broken up with a boyfriend, and and she's like, "Hey," um, she's like, "Hey, I have a hard time. I have a hard time selecting good guys." And he wasn't terrible. I mean, turned out to be a pastor. Well, maybe he was terrible. I don't know. Wasn't the worst person she'd ever dated, but I didn't think he was at her level. Like, let's say that. Like, I'm like, he's kind of, he's a semi goofball. And, so he had just broken up with her, I think, or she had broken up. Yeah, I don't know, one of the two. And she says, so I said, okay, so you want to go ahead and, figure out how to, find the guy of your dreams. And she's like, yeah. I said, okay, well, do this. I said, make a list of everything in your dream husband, all the way to, the color of his hair, his eyes, just everything that you would like. And she's like, okay. So she comes back the next day. And again, she's 18. So imagine going back to when you're 18, you know, and there and having a really, really good friend, that's there through you, through like crazy. Anyways, so she comes back the next day and she has a list, and it's a pretty good list. I don't know. It's five, six, seven things, eight things, whatever it is. And and I read through it. I said, "Oh, that's pretty good." And she goes, and she looks at me and she says, now that I've done it, I think it's only fair that you do it. Questions, thoughts, anybody?
Okay, I mean, sounds logical.
But I'm like, I got to take another look at this girl. Like, that's smart. Like, I did not see that coming. Like, man, like, I did not see that coming. I'm like, man, and I'm like, okay, sure. I didn't take a day because I'd been thinking about my ideal wife since I was 8 years old. Literally. Won't go into all those details, but literally, I've been thinking about like, like my mom said to us growing up. She said, um, getting a spouse is the second most important decision you'll ever make in your life. The first being, raised Baptist. So the first being, becoming a Christian. So that's number one. They would say, and number two is, your spouse. So you want to think about it. You want to be intentional about it. So for 10 years, I've been thinking, like, what kind of a wife do I want? So I didn't take a day because I've been thinking about it for 10 years. Like, I just said it at the beginning of the class. By the end of the class, I had a list, and it was a pretty extensive list. I mean, it went, it went down a color of hair and eyes. And I mean, I knew what I was looking for in a wife. And I didn't find this out until years later. I mean, maybe 20, 30 years into our marriage, where she said she took that list and she went back to her dorm and cried because she said, I'll never live up to that list. So, so I share that, and so there was a client of ours, she was 40 years old, and we were building an action vision plan for her. And I said, so personally, so we went through very successful businesswoman. I mean, very, very successful businesswoman and never married. And I said to her, so is there anything personal that you'd like us to build into the plan? And she said, yeah, I'd like you to find my soulmate, my dream husband. I'm like, okay, yeah, we can do that. And she's like, I was just joking. I'm like, oh, sorry. Sorry. I thought you were serious. She's like, you can do that? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's a science. And she said, really? And I said, oh, yeah, absolutely. And, and she's like, okay, well, then I'll put it in there. So we built an action vision plan for her. One of the first assignments was, so draw a circle and then list everything in your dream husband, like everything that you want in your dream husband, and list all of that out. And so she came back, the next week and had all of that. And I said, okay, now this week, your assignment for this week is list everything you're looking for, that get inside that guy's head, get inside his head, his mind. And then list out everything he's looking for in his dream wife. Don't focus on finding him. He'll find you. Focus on being that woman. And she did that. And I think it was within 3-4 months she started dating a guy. She said before that, sorry, I missed a key piece. She went ahead and she said, well, I have a habit of choosing the wrong men and making really poor choices. So she was very attractive, very successful. And so I didn't ask her, but my guess is she probably had affairs with a number of married men. She probably had affairs with a number of married men, and she made poor choices with men. And I said, well, we can fix that. And so she went ahead and got married. And, as far as I know, I haven't talked to her in years. But as far as I know, married, happily married, had a little boy. And so questions, Mary?
So for young men or women that have a list,
Yep.
um, how does it look like for them to start pursuing that person that they have in mind? Um,
They don't pursue them. They
or what
become,
does that look like for them to find their
yeah,
ideal spouse?
yeah, they go ahead and they become the person. They become the person that that ideal spouse is looking for. And it'll attract their spouse.
Gotcha.
Now there's other
Well,
questions in there.
listen, Penny, that's your assignment. Go find her. No, go attract her.
Yeah, become who you were
Find her.
created to be. Yeah, become who you're created to be. That's what you do. Now there's other questions, follow-up questions beyond that are very interesting questions to ask.
What are those?
Uh,
You're an adult.
how do you like know what your spouse wants? Is it just do the best you can, like your imagination, or
Yeah, just do the best you can. That's all you can do is the best you can. Can't do anything better than the best. Yeah, just I mean, if you want to go ahead and have for you, Luke, if you want to have a wife that's going to go ahead and be physically pure and loyal to you, then she's going to probably want that in you. If you want a wife that is going to go ahead and if you're going to want a wife who's a hard worker, she's probably going to want you to be a hard worker. If you got a wife that you want her to go ahead and be giving and loving and sacrificial and not selfish, not narcissistic, not sloppy, not lazy, not pathetic, not stupid, work not to be ignorant. If you want a wife who's like that, well, then you got to go ahead. She's going to want the same things about you, same things in you that you want in her. Like she's going to want in you what she's going to want in you what you want in her.
that makes sense?
So if you want a wife that's going to grow forever, if you want a wife that's going to grow forever, then she's going to want a husband that's going to want to grow forever. So I don't know, just ask me. Like you give me your list and I'll tell you what that woman's going to think. How do I know? I don't know. Married 41 years. I have, I have um, six granddaughters, four daughters and six granddaughters. Like I know women. Like I know what a woman's heart wants. I mean, I just do. It's not that hard. It's not that complicated. I mean, it's impossible to go ahead and give them what they want. This is why you better want to grow. If you get married, you better want to grow because that's what's going to happen. Other questions? So, Mary, I have a question for you. When adults don't act like adults, what do you do?
Ooh.
What do you mean, ooh?
I don't. When adults act like adults.
When adults do not act like adults, they act like children, what do you do?
Huh.
You've never thought of that before?
I have thought of that, but I'm not sure that I have the right answer. Like,
Okay, well, that makes me feel a little bit better. Jeepers.
I'm not sure what to do. I know sometimes I mean, and my kids, they're not technically adults, but I've told them to stop acting like a 2-year-old, like act your age. Does it work? Not really.
I haven't found it's crazy. It's crazy to me. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. So, you know, one of my coaches went ahead and said, "Yeah, just don't care." Okay. So when an adult isn't acting like an adult, just don't care. Okay. Okay. It makes it a lot easier. Holy cow. Same strategy works with your kids too. And other people's kids, your grandkids, everybody. I mean, the same strategy works. It's just like, why didn't anybody tell me this before? It's the coolest strategy in the world. I'm like, cheapers, I've been doing life all wrong.
So if you act like you don't care, does that make them change their mind and decide they
No,
want
no, you can't act
to
it. You
adult?
got to really not care.
Okay.
Yeah, you just don't care. It's fascinating to me on, on how this first year is, don't care about anything. You're going to hell, don't care. Do you know how hard it is, Mary, for a Baptist person to say that?
I don't, never was a Baptist.
All right. Well, it's hard.
Okay.
It's crazy. It's like, like I wonder, like, am I gonna get struck by lightning? But then that strategy works then too. Don't care. Like get struck, don't care. It's so awesome. It's like, dang, that's a great strategy. Like, just don't care about anything. It's fascinating. And then, year two. So next year is going to be don't care and convince myself that I do. Now, some of my coaches are like, Mark, you're doing it all wrong. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, this is a new concept to me. And I'm like, you're doing it all wrong. I'm like, well, what do you mean? They're like, you can't tell people you don't care. I'm like, so let me get this straight. You want me not to care and to be a liar too? Like, jeepers, all in 1 year? That would be, I don't even know what would happen. Like, I don't know. Like, so you got to take it like a 40-day fast. You got to take it. So year two is not to care and convince myself that I'm going to care. And then year three, then I've got it down. I don't care, and I've convinced myself that I do care. And then year three is I'm going to convince everybody else that I care too. It's so weird. Like I'm telling people, I don't care. I don't care. And they think I do, but I don't. I really don't. Don't care. Don't care. Doesn't matter. Don't care. And then there's other people out there that are saying they do care, but they don't. like, it's just weird. I'm telling. I don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. You don't even care about your great. Don't care. Nope. Don't care. And everybody thinks I do care. It's like, that's kind of strange. I don't. I just don't. You're an adult. Easy. Don't care. You act like a child. Don't care. Consequence. Don't care. Don't care about anything. Like it's just like now I understand why everybody is like this. It's a great way to be. Like it's just so awesome. I mean, it's like
What's so awesome about it?
10,000 rocks that I have in my yard. Like just like a rock. I'm just like a boulder now. Don't care. Sorry, go ahead.
What's so awesome about it?
You don't care. You don't feel any pain. You don't have any responsibility. There's no pain, there's no responsibility. You just don't care. Like you just don't care. It's the coolest thing in the world. Doesn't matter what happens in your life, doesn't matter what happens in anybody else's life. You just don't care. Do you know how good that feels? I mean, if somebody doesn't know how good that feels, what does that mean?
That they never have cared, so they don't know the
Never
difference.
have. They don't know the difference. They don't know the difference. They do not know the difference. They've never cared. They're living the dream. I'm like, jeepers. Any idea how much this would have saved me if I'd have known this 2 years ago? Or 10 years ago? Or 20 years ago? Or 60 years ago? Like I'm 9 years old and I'm at Camp Fairwood, and I asked my dad, "Hey, Dad, can you take me fishing?" He's like, "No, Mark, I'm leading camp. Don't really have time." I'm like, "Okay, Dad, no problem." I don't want to go fishing. My dad, no. He's like, I said, "Well, being the enterprising little guy I was, I'm like, can I, if I find another adult, if I find another adult, can I go? And they are willing to take? Yeah, if you can find another adult to take you fishing, yeah, you can do that." I'm like, "Okay." So I find an adult that's there and I say, "Hey, you know, can you take me fishing?" I didn't say, "My dad won't take me fishing. I'm such a." No, I mean, that's just what dads don't do. They don't take their kids fishing. They don't do fun things with them. That's just how dads do it. He's like, "Yeah, sure. I mean, as long as my 5-year-old daughter goes, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. Take her. It doesn't matter." So what happens? We go down to the lake. This is where, the little boy drowned. I didn't know him, but he was like 2, 3 years old and he drowned. I remember feeling devastated, just devastated. I didn't know him or his parents. His parents were the administrators of the camp. Like, I don't know. I was probably 12, 13 years old. Man, so much better if I just didn't care. Like, I didn't know the guy. What do I care? I don't know. It must be terrible to have a 2 or 3 year old and he drowns. Like, that must be terrible. Why? If I just know and don't care, he's not my brother. He's not my son. He's not, like, what do I care? So I go down and he's like, "Where should we fish?" And I knew the best places to fish. I'd been there. I was 9 years old. Like, I was smart. And his 5-year-old daughter says, "Daddy, I want to go ahead and fish here." That's not the good place to fish, sweetheart. Like, you're 5. I'm 9. Like, I'm twice your age. You don't know. And you're a girl. You don't know where to fish. And she didn't know where to fish. What does he choose? Does he choose the smart kid that knows what to do, or does he go with his daughter? Goes with his daughter. I learned a valuable lesson then. Women get what they want, even if they don't know what they're talking about. Like, it's like, huh, that's fascinating. I never realized that. Yeah, we didn't catch anything. like, like, jeepers. Um, Nora, what you got?
I don't think I have anything.
Kenny, what you got?
Um, I don't think I don't think we needed an adult to go fishing.
Right? That's what I'm saying. And there was an Amish 2-year-old that drowned, at a family reunion and around everybody. And I don't know, and it was his uncle when he was, I don't know, 12 or 13. And he drowned. So yeah, that's the beauty. Do you drown? It's okay. It's no big deal. Because you don't care.
Yeah.
You just don't care. Yeah, go fishing. Yep. Yep, or just do whatever. Just doesn't matter if you die. Don't care. It's beautiful. It's like I wish I was raised like that. Don't care.
Then why do people then, not maybe not care about things like that and then care about other things that are maybe they shouldn't care about?
Right? Well, we'll have to pick that up in another podcast because that's a great question. It's like good guilt and bad guilt. Good guilt is guilt we should have that causes us, if we care, which we don't, causes us to go ahead and change our behavior. So good guilt causes us to change our behavior. And so we change our behavior so we don't go ahead and hurt ourselves or other people. Good guilt, that's good guilt. Bad guilt is guilt that we have that we shouldn't have. Like if you're in sales and you make, I don't know, you're supposed to make 20 phone calls a day, and you make 22 phone calls in a day and you have guilt. Or it's like being a mom, like my wife. Like, she's like, I think I need to spend more time with the kids. Honey, you're a stay-at-home mom. You homeschool the kids. You couldn't spend more. Women have all kinds of crazy bad guilt. Then they don't have the good guilt. They don't have guilt that they should have. So when we have guilt that we shouldn't have, when we care about things we shouldn't care about, we don't have the energy. We don't have any energy left to care about the things we should care about. Luke, what you got?
I don't think you have anything else.
So, people aren't attentive. People are not attentive. They're not paying attention, and they're not paying attention to the people who pay attention. They're not listening to the people who pay attention, which is fine. Don't care. Like, it's just like this stuff is so awesome. Like, it's like I wish somebody would have been around to teach me this when I turned 50 or when I turned 40 or when I turned 30 or 20 or 10. I wish somebody would have taught me these things because, man, would have that made life a lot easier. So hopefully this has been helpful to everybody. Share this with other people for sure. It's pretty crazy. So always remember we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. Have an amazing day. Bye bye.